Have you ever gotten to the end of the day and felt that ache in your feet? Like your joints are groaning with every step? Maybe it's a stiffness that makes you wince when you stand up, or a dull throb that lingers even when you're resting. If that's ringing a bell, I'm so glad you're here with me today on VITAGOHEALTH. Our feet do so much for us, carrying us through years of adventures, from chasing after grandkids to tending the garden or just enjoying a quiet stroll. But as we get into our 60s, 70s, and beyond, those joints can start to complain, and it's not just a little annoyance. It can steal away that easy, comfortable feeling we all deserve. I've talked to so many folks who think it's just something they have to tough out. But let me tell you, there's a secret worth sharing that can change all that. You see, joint pain in our feet doesn't have to be a permanent guest. I'll never forget my neighbor Mrs. Clara, who's 68 and loves her knitting. She used to sit down after a long day, her feet aching so much she'd barely move them. She'd say, "I guess this is what getting older feels like." It broke my heart to hear that, because I knew there had to be a way to ease that pain and bring back some comfort. That's when I stumbled onto something so simple yet so powerful, a little at-home foot soak that can melt away that ache like magic. And the best part, you can try it tonight, right in your own home, with things you've probably got lying around. Today, we're going to walk through 4 easy steps to make this happen. Steps that'll relax your joints, soothe your feet, and maybe even help you sleep better. It's like a little secret I can't wait to share. So let's start with the first one, because it's the foundation of this whole cozy routine. Imagine this. You're winding down for the night, maybe flipping through a magazine or listening to the radio, and your feet are crying out for some relief. The first step is all about setting the stage. Fill a basin with warm water, just the right temperature to feel like a gentle hug. Not too hot, because we don't want to overdo it. Just warm enough to sink your feet into and feel that tension start to slip away. My friend Bill, who's 71 and still tinkers in his shed, used to come in after a day on his feet, his joints stiff and sore. He'd grumble, "These old bones are done for." But one evening, I told him to grab a big bowl, or even a clean bucket if that's what he had. Fill it with warm water, and just let his feet rest there for a few minutes. He tried it, sitting back with a cup of tea, and he said, "It's like my feet sighed with relief." That's the beauty of it. Warm water starts to loosen up those tight joints, getting them ready for the rest of the secret soak. It's so easy. Next time you're settling in, find a basin, pour in some warm water, and dip your feet in. It's like the first note in a song that's about to make everything feel better. Now, why does this matter so much for us as we get older? Our joints, those little hinges in our feet, take a beating over the years. Every step, every bend, every moment we've spent on them adds up. And by the time we're in our golden years, they can get stiff and cranky. I've seen it with so many folks I care about. Clara would knit with her feet propped up, trying to ignore the ache, and Bill would hobble out of his shed, wincing with every move. That warm water isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about giving those joints a chance to relax, letting the muscles around them unwind, so the pain doesn't dig in deeper. It's like when you've been carrying something heavy all day and finally set it down. Your shoulders drop, and you feel lighter. That's what this first step does for your feet. It's the starting point that says, "Hey, let's take care of you." And here's the thing. It's not just about the joints themselves. When your feet hurt, it can throw everything off. Clara told me she'd sleep fitfully because that ache would nag at her all night. And Bill said he'd skip his evening walk with the dog because his feet just couldn't handle it. That's not how it should be. Our feet should be our friends, not our foes. This warm water soak is like the opening act of a little ritual that brings back that comfort we've earned. I remember the first time Bill tried it. He sat there, the steam rising a bit from the basin, and he just closed his eyes for a moment. He said it was the first time in weeks his feet didn't feel like they were arguing with him. It's such a small thing, but it sets the stage for everything else we're going to add, making sure your joints get the full benefit of this secret. We're just getting started, and I love how this is coming together already. Clara's knitting nights are cozier now, and Bill's back to his shed with a little less grumbling. That warm water is the first step in a 4-part plan that's going to take that relief even further, relaxing your feet so you can move easier and rest better. It's not about fancy gadgets or complicated recipes, just a basin and some water to kick things off. There's more to this secret though. Some little additions that build on this warmth and make it even better. If you're liking this so far, I'd love for you to stick around with us here at VITAGOHEALTH. A quick tap on that subscribe button below is like joining our little family. It keeps these chats coming your way whenever you need them. Let's keep going together, because there's more goodness waiting to melt that joint pain away tonight. Hey there, friends. I'm so glad you're still with me here on VITAGOHEALTH, because we're right in the middle of unlocking this little secret to ease that joint pain in your feet. We've already talked about how filling a basin with warm water can start melting away that ache, like a gentle hug that loosens up those stiff joints and gets them ready for some serious relief. It's amazing how much that simple step can do, isn't it? I love hearing how Bill's been dipping his feet after a day in his shed, feeling that stiffness fade as he sips his tea. That's what this is all about, bringing back that comfort so you can move through your day and rest easy at night. So, let's keep building on that warm foundation, because we've got 2 more steps to add that'll take this soak to the next level and have you feeling good tonight. Now that your basin's filled with that cozy warm water, imagine adding a little something extra to make it even better. Tossing in a handful of Epsom salt. This isn't just any salt. It's like a magic ingredient that turns your soak into a real joint-soothing treat. My cousin Ellen, who's 65 and still bakes pies for every family gathering, used to come home with her feet throbbing after standing in the kitchen all day. She'd say, "These joints are ready to quit." But one evening, I handed her a bag of Epsom salt, about half a cup, and told her to stir it into her warm water, then soak her feet for 15 minutes. She tried it, sitting back with a slice of her own pie, and she said, "It's like the pain just floated away." That's the beauty of it. Epsom salt has this special way of relaxing your muscles and easing that joint ache, making your feet feel lighter with every minute. It's so easy. Next time you're setting up your soak, sprinkle in some Epsom salt and let it dissolve while you settle in. It's like a little boost that turns your basin into a mini spa. And why does this work so well? It's all about how our bodies respond as we get older. Those joints in our feet, those hard-working little hinges, get tired from years of carrying us around. Ellen would stand for hours rolling dough, and by the end of it, her feet felt like they were locked up tight. That Epsom salt doesn't just sit there. It gets into the water and helps your muscles unwind, taking the pressure off those joints so they don't have to fight so hard. I've seen it with my own eyes. Ellen soaking her feet, the steam rising with that faint salty scent, and her shoulders dropping as the ache slipped away. She told me she slept better that night too, because her feet weren't nagging at her anymore. It's like when you've been tense all day and finally stretch out. That's what this step does, giving your joints a chance to breathe and relax so you can feel steady again. Okay. Let's keep that good feeling going with the next step, because this one's a real game changer. Adding a few drops of an essential oil like lavender or peppermint. This isn't just about making it smell nice. It's about turning your soak into something that soothes your whole self. My pal George, who's 69 and loves his backyard barbecues, used to have this nagging joint pain that made him dread standing by the grill. He'd say, "These feet are killing me. I'm too old for this." But one night, I suggested he drop 5 or 6 drops of lavender oil into his Epsom salt soak, just a little splash after the salt dissolved, and let his feet rest there for 15 minutes. He tried it, kicking back with the faint scent of lavender in the air, and he said, "It's like my feet forgot how to hurt." That's the trick. Lavender calms everything down, while peppermint can give a cool tingle that lifts the ache right out. It's so simple. Next time you're soaking, add a few drops of your favorite oil and let it work its magic. It's like a little aromatherapy bonus that makes your joints sing. And here's why this step feels so special. Our feet don't just carry our weight, they carry our days. George would spend hours flipping burgers, his joints creaking with every move, and by night, he'd be too sore to enjoy the party. That essential oil doesn't just smell good. It sinks into the experience, relaxing your mind while it helps your feet let go of that tension. I remember George sitting there, the lavender mixing with the warm water, and he just closed his eyes for a moment, a little smile creeping in. He said it was the first time in ages he didn't feel that ache creeping up his legs. And peppermint? It's like a cool breeze on a hot day. Ellen tried it once and said it made her feet feel fresh and new. It's not about picking one over the other. Just grab what you've got, lavender for calm or peppermint for a lift, and let it turn your soak into something your joints will thank you for. We're building something pretty incredible here, aren't we? Claire's knitting nights are quieter now with less pain. Bill's shed time is easier. Ellen's baking without that throb. And George is grilling with a spring in his step. These steps, warm water, Epsom salt, a touch of oil, are like a little team working together to melt that joint ache away. It's not about running to the store or doing anything complicated. Just a basin, some salt, and a few drops of oil to start feeling the difference tonight. There's one more step coming up that ties it all together. Something so easy you'll want to try it right away. If you're enjoying this chat so far, I'd love for you to stay with us here at VITAGOHEALTH. Just a quick tap on that subscribe button below keeps you in the loop. It's like having me drop by with a cozy tip whenever you need it. Let's keep this going together, because there's one more piece to this secret that'll have your feet feeling fantastic. My amazing friends, we've been having such a cozy chat here on VITAGOHEALTH, haven't we? I love how we're piecing together this little secret to ease joint pain in our feet, one soothing step at a time. So far, we've talked about filling a basin with warm water, tossing in some Epsom salt, and adding a few drops of essential oil, creating a soap that melts away that ache and brings back some calm. It's been so wonderful hearing about folks like Bill, Ellen, and George making these small moves. Bill's soaking after his shed time, Ellen's baking without that throb, and George is grilling with less pain. These are the kinds of stories that warm my heart, because they show how much we can do with just a little care. Now, we've got one last step to add, and then we'll bring it all together with some thoughts to keep your feet feeling good tonight. Let's dive into this final piece, because it's the perfect way to seal the deal. Pat your feet dry and rub in a bit of moisturizer after your soak. This isn't just about keeping them soft. It's about locking in all that relief, so your joints stay happy long after the water's gone. My dear friend Rose, who's 70 and still tends her flower garden, used to have this nagging joint pain that made her dread kneeling to weed. She'd say, "These feet just won't let up." But one night, after trying the warm water, salt, and lavender soak, I told her to gently pat her feet dry. No rubbing hard, and massage in a dab of her favorite lotion, something thick like shea butter or even a plain cream she had on hand. She did it, sitting back with her gardening magazine, and she said, "It's like my feet drank it up and forgot to hurt." That's the trick. Moisturizing seals in the warmth and relaxation, keeping those joints loose and comfy. It's so easy. Next time you soak, pat them dry and rub in a little lotion before you settle in for the night. It's like a cozy blanket that keeps the relief going strong. And why does this step feel like the cherry on top? It's all about how our feet work as we get older. Those joints, those little hinges we've relied on for years, can get dry and stiff, especially after a long day. Rose would spend hours in her garden, her feet aching from every bend, and by night, they'd feel like they were locked in place. That moisturizer doesn't just soften the skin, it keeps everything hydrated, so the muscles and joints don't tighten back up as soon as you're done soaking. I've seen it with my own eyes. Rose sitting there, massaging in that lotion with her hands, the faint scent of lavender still lingering from the soak, and her whole body relaxing. She told me she slept like a baby that night, because her feet weren't buzzing with pain anymore. It's like when you've been out in the cold and finally wrap up in a warm scarf. That's what this does, wrapping your joints in a little extra comfort so you can rest easy. So, there we have it. 4 simple steps to turn your evening into a joint pain relieving ritual. Fill a basin with warm water to start the relaxation. Add Epsom salt to melt the ache away. Drop in some essential oil to soothe your senses, and finish with a moisturizer to lock it all in. These aren't complicated tricks. They're little acts of kindness you can give your feet right at home. I've seen it work wonders with the people I care about. Bill's out in his shed, his feet soaking in warm water and salt, feeling steady again. Ellen's baking pies, the peppermint oil lifting her joints while she rests. George is grilling with lavender calm, his feet free from that old ache. and Rose is gardening with ease. That lotion keeping her heels and joints smooth. It's like they've all found a little secret that says, you don't have to hurt tonight. What I love most about this is how it all comes together so naturally. It's not about rushing out for fancy stuff. Claire's using warm water from her kettle. Bill's got Epsom salt from the pantry. Ellen's adding oil she already had. And Rose is finishing with lotion she keeps by the sink. If your feet are stiff after a long day, start with that warm water like Bill. It's the first hug they need. Feeling that deep ache? Sprinkle in some salt like Ellen. It's the muscle melter. Want a little extra calm? Drop in some oil like George. It's the soothing touch. And to keep it all going, rub in that lotion like Rose. It's the final seal. These steps are like a little team, working together to lift that pain, so you can walk to the kitchen, stand in the garden, or just settle into bed without that nagging ache stealing your peace. Clara's knitting nights are back to being her favorite time, because her feet aren't fighting her anymore. So, why not try it tonight? Grab a basin, some warm water, a bit of salt, a drop of oil, and a dab of lotion. See how your feet feel after these 4 steps. Maybe tomorrow you'll wake up with a little less stiffness, or you'll sleep deeper than you have in weeks. These are the quiet wins that add up, and before you know it, you're moving through your day with a little more ease. I'd love to hear how it goes. Drop a comment below and tell me how your soak feels, or if your joints are thanking you already. Your stories light up my day, and they inspire everyone watching too. If this chat has eased your feet a bit, give this video a thumbs up. It's a sweet way to let me know you're out there enjoying it. And if you want to keep these tips coming, hit that subscribe button. It's like having me pop by with a cozy idea whenever you need it. As we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with this. Your feet have carried you through so much, and they're still here, ready to keep going. That joint pain, it's not the end of the story. It's just a little nudge to take care. These 4 steps are like a secret handshake with your feet, telling them they're still in the game. A warm soak, some salt, a touch of oil, a bit of lotion. These are the things that bring back comfort and calm, no matter your age. So here's to you, my friends. May you step easy, rest well, and shine bright every day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and enjoy that soak tonight.